as a study guide online. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to only work the ones that you will need some help on. So let's look at the first one. It says, answer the question below and then fill in the blanks if necessary. Can the distributive property be used to rewrite 3 times 8 divided by 4? Okay, and the answer is that we do not. So this is not distributive because we don't have addition or subtraction.
Right.
Okay, so we would say, no, this is not going to be written in that form. So we're going to say no. Click no. All right, everybody click no. All right, so question number 2. It says give the digits. Now these, I'm not going to do all of these for you. I'm only going to do the ones that I think you're going to have issues with. Because a lot of these, you have the answers in the back and you can check. Okay, it says fill in the blanks to match the picture. So what are we dividing 47 by? Anybody? I will accept it 2 ways. So where's my Word document here? Okay, I will accept it one of 2 ways. You could say 47 divided by 3 is, and then you could count how many are in here. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 with a remainder of what? Okay, we could say remainder 2. Or I would accept 47 divided by 15 equals 3, remainder 2. Okay, can everybody understand why I would accept either one of those answers?
No.
Okay, all right, so you don't need my help multiplying. Okay, all the factors of 20, how will we do that? 20, all the factors. It didn't say prime factors. So we would start with 1 times 20. Okay, so I'm not going to write out the times. I'm just going to put 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, 5. Okay. All right. Everybody, those are the factors of... Shh, Kira, I'm trying to record this. This is recording.
Yeah, that was really helpful. What is it? 124, 5, 20.
Everly, I'm about to send you out of the room to Mr. You're talking incessantly. Raise your hand. Yes.
I was getting a lead. Is it 124? Is it 1, 2, 4, 5? Or is it 1, 2, 4, 5?
1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20. Okay, so all your answers are in the back. I'm just working the hard ones. Let's look at number 6. Now you're going to have to show work on all these problems, so make sure you don't just copy the answers. Okay. Elsa must choose a number. Kira? Yes. Those are answers. Okay. Elsa must choose a number between 55 and 101 that is a multiple of 4, 8, and 16. Write all the numbers that she could choose. If there's more than one number, separate them into commas. Now the easiest way to do this, everybody, is to look and say, well, 4 goes into 16 already, and 8 goes into 16. So aren't we just really looking for multiples of 16? Okay, so we've got 55, and 101. So we're looking at all, we have to look for any multiples of 16 that are in between 55 and 101. Okay, so we know that 16 times 4, 16 times 4 is 64. Okay, and the difference between 55 and 64 is just 9, so that's not going to be another one of the factors. So then we're going to say 16 times 5 is 80. 16 times 6, I got to do that one, 36 is 96. Okay, and that's going to be all we have. So the answer to number 6 would be 64, 80, and 96. Because they were so kind as to make 3 numbers that are already all inside of 16. Okay, I'm not going to do number 7. Okay, in 9 minutes, Isabel can type 36 words. What is her rate in words per minute? Okay, so you're going to set up words per minute. Okay, so we're going to say words is 36 words per 9 minutes, but we want the number of words per 1 minute. So what are we going to do? Just simplify this down to 4 words per minute. Okay, so I'm not going to do that one for you. Every player must get 6 cards in a game. There are a total of 26 cards. How many players can play this game? What are we going to do, guys? We're going to just divide, aren't we? How many times will 6 go into 26? 4, right? So the answer to that one is 4. Only 4 players can play that game because the 5th player would not have enough cards. What? I know, but you don't have enough cards for a 5th person to play. 30. You don't have enough, right? Okay, so I'm not going to do not going to do that one. You know how to find an average. I'm not doing that one. Okay, so number 15. Number 15. Okay, if it takes 7.1 pounds of seed to plant 1 acre of grass, how many acres can be planted in with 9.94 pounds? Okay, so we're going to set up a proportion. This is number 15. Okay, so it says 7.1 pounds. We'll use the LB for pounds. Okay, we'll plant 1 acre. Okay, and we're going to plant 9.94, number 15, the one that's circled right here, Everly, pounds. Okay, so now we need number of acres that could be planted. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply, aren't we? So I'm going to go get a new document here.
Why can't you just get a new page?
Everly, I'm good. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to look here. We got 7.1 times 1. So what's our cross multiply going to be? What's our cross multiply going to be? Okay. Uh-oh. So our cross multiply is going to be what? Anybody want to give me an idea?
No, I don't know.
7.1 times x. 7.1 times x. If you're quiet, I might do it later. 9.94 times 1. Okay, so now we have an equation. What are we going to do? 9.94 divided by 7.1. And that will give us the answer. Okay, so whatever 9.94 divided by 7.1 is going to be the answer. So I'm not going to do that out for you. I'm just showing you how to do these so that you can proceed. I'm not doing that one. 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 Okay, this one right here. That one right here, we're going to multiply and then subtract. Remember, order of operations, multiply always comes before subtraction. On this one, you're not going to have a calculator on your final, so you should be able to do this by hand. Divide 17 by 23. Okay, let's look at Henry's bookshelf. Let me get my other.
Can you do this verbally one?
I will see if you stop bugging me about it. Would you please stop bugging me about it?
We gotta make sure you don't forget about it. We're going to forget.
that the one you want?
Rainbow.
Okay. All right. So that means Henry's bookshelf has 24 inches of space remaining. Each of his notebooks is 3/4 inches wide. Okay, everything's in inches. That's important. How many notebooks will fit in the remaining space? Write your answer in simplest form. So what are we going to do with this one? What will be our process? He has 24 inches. Each of his notebooks is going to be 3/4 inches wide. So what will we do? Who can tell me?
Multiply.
Why? Wouldn't we divide?
I mean, I get them confused as I'm like saying.
We would divide, but then in order to divide a fraction, what do?
You gotta make it the
Multiply by the flip, right?
Yes.
The reciprocal. So now 24 divided by 3 is 8, so we can cancel those out with an 8. And then 8 times 4 is 32. So he can fit 32 notebooks in his 24 inches. Okay. Charlie received 4/7 of the 210 votes cast for the class president. How many votes did he receive? What does of mean?
multiplication.
Times. So aren't we just going to multiply 4/7 times 210? Okay, look at question 24. Okay, that's just, you're going to end up doing that on your own. Okay, Ryan made a shirt. This is question number 29, so turn to 29. Ryan made a shirt using 1/3 yards of blue fabric and 3/4 yards of red fabric. How many more yards of red fabric did Ryan use? Okay, so 3/4 yard of blue fabric, 1/3. 1/3 yards of blue and 3/4 yards of red. Okay, so Logan, why aren't you writing these while we're doing them? I'm doing your homework for you, Logan, and you're sitting there like a lump on the log. All right, so now it says what? How many more yards of red? So aren't we going to say 3/4 take away 1/3? This was the packet I gave you at the beginning of the class.
I don't think I got it. Yeah, you
You never
never did.
got it. Okay, did anybody get 2 of these packets? I made up enough of these
No, I
packets.
only got 1.
What are those back there?
Wow.
Okay, so nobody got more than 1 packet of stuff. Please
You
look.
gave it to Miss Jackie. You gave all the packets to her.
Yeah, but I had already printed up, I thought, enough of these.
I still ask her.
Here, hold on. No, I don't have. No, I'm gonna have. Okay, Logan, at least take these down on a piece of paper while you're waiting on this, as we're doing these notes. Okay. Okay, so what will we do? We're going to get a common denominator of 12. We're going to multiply 9 over 12 minus, and we need a 12 down here. So that's going to be what on the top? A 4? Okay, does everybody understand? So we're going to have 5/12 more red than blue. Okay. Now on this one, look at this one quickly. We're multiplying these first. Remember order of operations? Okay, girls. I'm trying to help you get ready for your final exam. If you want to fall flat on your face during your final exam, then please don't keep everybody else so that they're in the same boat. Let us review for this because some people care and want to do well. Okay, so we got this, we multiply first, and then we subtract it. Are you going to have to get common denominators?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all right. Using a pencil, plot the point. I shouldn't have to do that one for you. All these answers are in the back. Look at number. Okay, it's just basically giving you, there wasn't a point there? Okay, then I guess there's nothing there. I don't think there's anything on that one. That was a typo. Okay, so this one. For each scenario, choose the best statement. The company gains 18 employees and then loses 18 employees. So which one are you going to mark?
The last one.
The overall change in the company's size is 0, right? The temperature drops 5 degrees Fahrenheit and then rises 6 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's higher.
The temperature is higher. A bird flies down 25 feet and then up 15 feet.
Oh, that's lower.
Below its initial height, right? Those are easy. All right, being able to put these in the right quadrant is important. Now, everybody remember, if it's got a 0 in it, it's not in a quadrant. It's on an axis. Does everybody remember that? If it's got a 0, it's not in a quadrant. It's on an axis. So what is that one? It's on the y-axis because it's got a y there, right? Okay, so question, okay, it's using the number line. I don't think you're going to, now remember, absolute value means whatever's inside is going to be positive.
Wait, I think I actually have a question regarding one of those questions.
Okay, which one?
It was the one with the quadrants.
Okay, quadrants, yes.
I just forget which one is quadrant 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so let's just look at this. Okay, Lily, we're not going to talk because we have a question on the floor. Kiara, so this is 1. Can everybody see? Oops, that's 1, 2,
Okay.
3, and 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good thing to have in your notes, everybody. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Kiara, that's distracting. Okay, who's singing? Please. All right.
I have a question. You like that song, I know.
All right, so I don't think you need help on those. What's that?
How many more questions of this are you going to do? Because I was wondering, because I did the 7, 4, 7, 5, you can take off here if I could like redo it.
Okay, not right now during this. I'm sorry.
You should know how to do this. It's basic.
Okay, so basically this is our review. I can't give you quizzes during this time. All right, -8, -4. -8 is located to the left of -4. -8 is located to the right of -4. Which way is it going to be? -8 is to the left or to the right of -4? Kira, please
I didn't say
stop
anything.
singing.
I'm not singing.
Yes, you are. You just don't even know you're singing. Okay, so -8 is which way?
Left. Like I just
Okay, to the left, so it'd be less than. All right, you don't need help on that one. You don't need help on this one. All right, so this one, I don't think you're going to need help on that one or that one. A company has recently been hiring new employees. Today, the company has 36% more employees than it did a year ago. If there are currently 78,200 employees, how many employees did the company have a year ago? Okay, so what are we going to do? Let's see. Let me get another little sheet. Who is banging? Is that you, Logan? Something over there that's irritating. Okay, so I'm not going to take the time to go tell them. All right, so basically what are we going to do here, y'all? This one is one of the more difficult ones. Okay, it has recently been hiring new employees. Today the company has 36% more than it did a year ago. Okay, and it says it has now got 78,200 employees. How many employees did it have a year ago? Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to say, employees a year ago times, now when it says 36% more, we can multiply by 1.36. That's going to give the 36% more added back to the original equals 78,200. Okay, so now in order to get this right here, what are we going to do? Should we divide 78,200 divided by 1.36? Okay, write that down. That's your hint for that problem. That's the work you're going to do to get your employees. Okay, number 42. Kira? Slash. You're distracting.
I'm sorry.
Okay, the residents of a city voted on, oh, we're not going back right this minute. The residents of a city voted on whether to raise property taxes. The ratio of yes votes to no votes was 3 to 4. If there are 2,084 no votes, what was the total number of votes? Okay, so this is why I'm recording this, so that you will have this to be able to do.
Scroll down just a little bit.
No, you're not paying attention to the rainbow.
I was paying attention.
Okay, the residents of a city,
Oh my God.
okay, the residents of a city voted on whether to raise property taxes. The ratio of yes to no was 3 to 4. Okay, so altogether there are 2,084 votes. What was the total number of votes? There were no votes. These are no's. Okay, so aren't we going to set up a proportion with this? We have 3 yes to 4 no, but they tell us that we have 2,084 no's. This is number 42. And so we're going to have this, all right? So we could do this 2 ways. We could set this up as a proportion, and we could write 3 over 4 equals x over 2,084. Or we could realize that 4 goes evenly into 2084 how many times? 521. So 4 times 521 is 2084. And then we multiply this one also by 521. So the answer is going to be 3 times 521. All right, so
Can you scroll down just a little bit so I see that last part from problem 4?
this
No,
this one right here. No, we're not going. We've only got a couple seconds. 43. You go ahead, Lily. 120, just go outside and do it in Mr. Aldridge's office. That'll be fine. 120% of what is 20.4? Okay, so we're going to have what? We're trying to get to X. What will be our process? First of all, can we write 120% as a decimal? Would it be 1.20? X equals 20.4? Okay.
I can't even watch a video on it don't work.
So then divide by 1.20.
The video?
Divide by 1.20. All right, so here we are finishing 43. And 43, we were almost done with it when I had to finish class. So here we go. We had divided 1.20 by 1.20, leaving only the x. So we have x equals, okay, so now we're doing 20.4, and we're going to divide that by 1.20. Okay, so now this decimal will go over 1, 2. This decimal will go over 1, 2. So our new decimal is right here at the end. 120 will go into 204 one time, leaving 120. And we subtract that to get 4, 8, and then bring down the 0. 840. 12 into 84. I know 12 goes into, let's try that. 7 times maybe? 0. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 7 times 1. We were right. It is 7 times, which gives us a perfect 0. So 17 is the whole answer to this first part over here. 120% of what is 20.4. So the answer to the what is 17. And the next one is still part of 43, but it's the B part. And it says 21.12 is what percent? Now, I like to do what percent. Not everybody does it this way. I like to do it this way. But when I finish, I have to put it in a percent form. So it's going to be X percent. But in order to keep track of the fact that it's going to be a percent when we're done, a lot of people would put P as the variable because it's going to end up being a percent times, because of the of, 82.5. Okay, so let's take the is and turn it into an equal sign. Okay, so we're almost there because we have 21.12 is what percent of 82.5. So now to get the P by itself, we really need to multiply both sides by 100 and then divide both sides by 82.5. So let's just multiply by 100 over 82.5. And I have to do the same thing on the other side, so I'm going to erase my B here. And we're going to put times 100 over 82.5. Okay, so now this 100 on the bottom and this 100 on the top will cancel, the 82.5 on the top and the 82.5 on the bottom, which leaves me my percentile. So we could just say P is the percentile, okay, because that's what we started with. All right, and then we're going to have to do this math. So 100 times 21.12 over 82. So I'm just going to multiply by the 100 and move these decimals bloop, bloop, 2 times, which cancels that. So we've got 2112. 2,112 divided by 82.5. Okay, so then we're going to move our decimal here and move our decimal by adding a 0, putting my new decimal right here at the end. And 825 will go into 21. Let's see, 8 goes into 16 2 times. So I'm going to put a 2 right here. And we're going to try. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 is 5. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract 2. 11 minus 5 is 6. 0, because that was borrowed. 0 minus 6 is 10 minus 6 is 4. And there's nothing there because we borrowed. Bring down the 0. Okay, so 825 into 4620, we'll say 8 into 46 would be 5 times. Let's see if 5 would work. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 5 times 8 is 40 plus 1 is 41. And we're left with, it's going to be a 5, but we borrowed here to make that a 1. We're going to borrow here to make that a 5. 11 take away 2 is 9. 5 take away 1 is 4. And then that's 0. So we're going to bring down another 0, which is going to be right here. And so we're going to say maybe it's either 5 or 6. And it's going to be 5 because I don't think 6 is going to be enough. So we're going to put down the 5, which we already did right there. So let's just put down 4, 1. Oops, you know what it is going to be? We're going to put 6. It's going to work. 6 times 5 is 30. So we're going to have to erase these. Okay, 6 times 5 is 30. Carry a 3. And 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Carry a 1. 6 times 8 is 48, 49, and exactly. Oops, 49. And exactly, no remainder. So we have 25.6. So 25.6%. Now let's go back and see if that makes sense. So it says 21.12 is what percent of 82.5? And we're saying 25.6%. Now we know 25% is a quarter. And 21.12 looks like it's about a quarter of 82.5. Okay, so it's a little bit over, and that is correct. So we check it back in to see if it makes sense, and it does. Okay, so let's look at number 44 and see if this one is one that we're going to need to work. Okay, so it says for each equation, determine whether x and y are directly proportional. That is, if the equation shows direct variation. Now remember, direct variation goes through 0, 0. I'm going to write down your direct variation formula. So we need to get a new little document here. We're going to write down our direct variation formula, which is y equals kx. Okay, so notice that y is equal to kx. There is no y-intercept. So this is a line with a slope, but no y-intercept. So we're going to have to say that this a part is not proportional, and the b part, y equals kx. B is proportional, but a is not. So when you're looking for proportional, you're looking for it to be a line that has a 0 y-intercept. And so now we will go on to question number 45. Let me write that down, 45. So you know where you are as you follow this PowerPoint. Okay, so question number 45 is the price of an item has been reduced by 70%. The original price was $60. What is the price of the item now? So let's think about this. The $60 is the 100%. It is the original price. Okay, so remember, you can't go over 100% to be the whole. So now it is reduced by 70%. So if you took 70% away, reduced it 100% by 70%, then you would only have 30% of the original price. So we're going to say 60 times 30% is 0.30. Okay, so we're going to multiply 0, 0, and then 0, 18, and 2 decimal places right there. So $18 is the new price after it had been reduced by 70%. Okay, so we're only talking about 30% of the price, and $18 is 30% of 60. It's less than half, right? Because 30% is less than half, and so that makes sense. All right, so number 46 says, 2 factory plants are making TV panels. Yesterday, the plant, so what would we say this was? 46. Problem number 46. Yesterday, plant A produced 18,000 panels. 18,000 panels. And 2% of the panels from plant A and 6% of the panels from plant B were defective. How many panels did plant B produce if the overall percentage of defective panels from the 2 plants was 3%? So this is overall defective. Now, we've got a couple of things we don't know. 2 factory plants are making TV panels. We don't know the total of the panels. Okay. We know plant A produced 18,000 and 2% of them were defective. We know that B produced some and 6% of them were defective. We know that the total plant would be how many the total number of panels would be how many A and B made together. Okay, so it says how many panels did B produce? So this is our answer that we're looking for. If the overall percentage of defective panels from the 2 plants was 3%. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves a little bit more room here. So let's talk about this for a minute. We have got 2% of the 18,000. So 2% of the 18,000. Okay, plus 6% of the whatever B makes. That is the total number defective. Okay, we know that. Okay, we know that the total number of panes is how many A plus B made. So we could say total panes equals A, which was 18,000, plus B, that's the total. Okay, so now let's see if we can figure this out. We know the total number defective is this. We also know that this, the number defective, is 3% of this. Okay, so let's see if we can make an equation that's going to give us this answer. Okay, so remember we're looking for B right here. So we know that 2%, which is 0.02, of 1,800 plus 6% or 0.06 times B is the number defective. We also, so we're going to call this D. That's the defective ones. Okay, so we know that D is 0.03 of or times 18,000 plus B. Okay, now, can we, oops, I'm going to have to get another little sheet here because I ran out of room. That's okay. So, on my other little sheet here, now, look at what we've got. We've got, I'm going to get a little highlighter here. We've got this right here. We're going to highlight that. Oops. So this right here is equal to defective. Okay. But defective is equal to 0.03 of 1800. Oops, that was supposed to be 1,000. I lost a 0. Put it right there. Okay, plus B. So, can we not, if this is D and D is this, can't we set these two equal to each other? Because they both equal D, they must both equal each other. So let's do that. So now we're going to write 0.02 times 18,000 plus 0.06 times B equals number defective, but number defective equals this. So we're going to say that all of this must be equal to 0.03 times 18,000, oops, plus B. I closed that parenthesis too early, plus B. Because that's what this one says right here. Now, we've got our equation. We're looking for B. Notice we have an equation, and we can go ahead and write this over here, 0.03. So we have everything on the same line. Make it a little bit easier. 18,000 plus B. We're going to erase this part right here. And we're going to multiply, so like this. 1, 2, get rid of those two, right? Because we multiplied that by, and we divided that by 100. So now we have 2 times 180, which is 360, plus 0.06. We're kind of stuck with that right now because we don't know what B is. Equals. Now let's distribute this across here. So we've got 0.03 times this, and then so we'll write it down. 0.03 times 18,000. Okay, plus 0.03 times B. Okay, so now I've got this one that I could do right now. 0.03, we're going to move this decimal, blop, blop, and take off 2 zeros. So now we have 3 times 180. So 3 times 0, 3 times 8 is 24. Carry the 2, and we end up getting 540 plus 0.03B equals 360 plus 0.06B. Now it's starting to shape up. Let's subtract the 360 and subtract the 360 from the whole number over here. Okay, so then since we moved our number over here, let's get rid of our B on the right by subtracting 0.03B and subtracting 0.03 B. And we end up with this going out, this becoming 0.03B equals, this goes out, 0. 14 take away 6 is 8 and 1. 0.03B equals 180. Divide by 0.03, and then not the B, excuse me, and divide this one by 0.03. And we cancel those out, we get B equals. Okay, so now we're just going to divide 180 divided by, excuse me, 0.03, blop, 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 decimal here, and 3 into 18 is 6. It goes evenly, so we end up getting 6,000. So 6,000 equals B. All right, so we should be able to look at our answer sheet on, what was that, 46? 46 says 6,000 equals B. So we got that one right. Okay, so now let's go over here. I'm going to put those aside. We're going to look at 47 and get a new Word document. And let's read number 47. In a recent study, 25 males used a new weight loss supplement, and all but 6 of them lost weight. In the same study, 100 females used the supplement, and all but 34 of them lost weight. Fill in the blanks below to make the statement the most reasonable possible. The new weight loss supplement was more effective on blank, males or females, in the study because blank percent of them lost weight, whereas only blank percent of the blank lost weight. Okay, so we're going to have to find out percentages. So notice it says all but 6 lost weight. So we're looking for the percentage of weight loss, not the percentage of not weight loss. So we're going to have to change this around a little bit. So we're going to say 25 males was the total. And this is males. Okay. Use a weight loss supplement, and all but 6 of them lost weight. So how many lost weight? So take 6 from 25, and 19 out of 25 males lost weight. Okay. In the females, there were 100 females. Okay, so females. And all but 34 of them lost weight. So 100 take away 34 is going to be 66. Okay, because I add 4, I add 34. That's right. So 66 out of 100. So we don't have to do any math with this one. 66% of the females, because there's 100 on the bottom. Now, remember, an easy way to do this is multiply by 4 and multiply by 4 to get 100 on the bottom. And then 19 times 4 would be 76. So 76% of the males lost weight, and 66% of the females lost weight. So now it says fill in the blanks. The new weight loss supplement was more effective on males, so that's A right there in the first one, in the study because 76% of them lost weight, whereas only 66% of the females lost weight. Okay, so that one was difficult wording, but not difficult doing the problem. Okay, question 48. Ashley deposits $700 into an account that pays simple interest at a rate of 6% per year. How much interest? Interest equals Interest is principal times rate times time. You must know that formula. How much interest will she be paid in the first 2 years? Okay, so remember, we're just going to fill this in. Principal is 700. Okay, rate is 6%, so we'll write that as 0.06. Time is 2 years. 2 years. Okay, so now we're multiplying these together. So an easy way to do this is blop, 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 blop. Okay, so we have 7 times 6, which is 42, times 2, which would be 84. They're going to get $84 in interest over 2 years from their $700 principal. Okay, 49. 49 says, write 15 2/5 as a decimal. You really don't need me to do that, but I'm going to do it. 15 2/5 is 0.4 because 2/5 is the same as 4/10, which would be 0.4. Okay, last one. Question 50. Jim has ridden 12 miles of a bike course. The course is 40 miles long. What percentage of the course has Jim ridden so far? So he has ridden 12 out of 40 miles. So let's write 12 out of 40. This is question number 50. Now, you could multiply by 2.5 on the top and 2.5 on the bottom, and you would get the answer. Or we could just divide 12 by 40, and we'd put our decimal here. Okay, and 40 into 120 would be 3 times. Okay, so 0.3 is the decimal equivalent, but we're looking for a percentage. So we would go blop, blop, and make it 30. And we'd say 30% is the same thing as 0.3. And that, my dear students, is the end of the basic skill review, which is due tomorrow. This is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.